Good evening. Good evening. Happy Monday. It's the start of a brand new weekend after Friday and, you know, the stuff that we had to deal with early Saturday. Thankfully, things are much quieter. It's a quieter start to the weekend. The bulk of this forecast looks better than last week. You had sunshine today, and despite there being chilly numbers out there, the numbers have rebounded a little bit for the afternoon, climbed into the mid to upper 60s, depending on where you are. And those numbers are gradually cooling down as we head into the evening. But we're always looking ahead. Obviously, that's what you come here for, the updated forecast. And we're going to dive into some updates in it. We're talking about two first alert weather days that we added for Friday, which we started mentioning at the end of last week. We could already tell that this system was looking to set up to bring some rain. Now we believe that we're going to have some thunderstorms as well. The severe potential there still a little too far out to determine, but we are at least watching for that. So that's another reason for you to check back with us later on this week. Saturday, there is a rain chance around, but it looks like the bulk of that will be along south of I-20. That's not a first alert weather day as of now, but we're expecting more widespread rain as a cold front pushes through our area on Sunday, and the potential for some thunderstorms embedded in that line is possible. So we've thrown a first alert weather day on Sunday. So those are 2 days out of the next 7 that you really want to be weather aware. We'll get into that. Let's talk about the present because first alert radar is looking pretty good. Some clouds are out there. Those clouds are going to gradually build through the evening. That's going to help us out a little bit. We started off the morning in the low to mid 30s. We were a little bit warmer at Hartsville, Jackson, but with more clouds out there, we expect an even warmer start to the day heading into tomorrow. 61 degrees right now here in Atlanta, 56 in LaGrange, 58 over in Gainesville. Same for Eatonton. If you're joining us from Athens, good evening, 57 degrees. It's mild. That's what that tells me. Not a bad evening to get out and about, grabbing a bite to eat, movie night, date night, any of that stuff. The numbers are going to trend cooler, so grab at least a light jacket. 49 degrees as we head into the early morning hours for folks that are working third shift. And then we're expecting temperatures to fall into the mid to upper 30s for most folks. Hartsville, Jackson is typically a few degrees warmer than most other locations in our region just because of all of us here. Urban heat island effect, we expect to wake up to numbers near 42 degrees. But because a lot of you will be in the mid to upper 30s, there is a frost advisory that the National Weather Service put out earlier this afternoon, actually at about 2:50, I think. It's for all of these communities that are highlighted here, starting at 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eagle-eyed observers are probably wondering, okay, we hadn't had a frost or a freeze situation other than what we had this morning in several months, and that's because the growing season had ended. But because a lot of flowers are starting to bloom, trees are doing their thing with pollen, which we'll get into the pollen forecast too, but because things are starting to grow out there, we're going to be getting these frost and freeze advisories whenever temperatures drop into the 30s, so that's something we'll be watching out for. We're trending warmer, springing forward, so those numbers should gradually improve, and we shouldn't have to deal with freezing temperatures much from here on out until the end of the year. Sunshine going to dominate tomorrow, so grab the sunglasses. Going to be gorgeous out there. I do expect some high clouds to build in through the late afternoon into the evening hours, but I think we'll still get into the 70s. We actually nudge that afternoon high up to 71 tomorrow because we do expect, that extra hour of day sunlight, because of the way we shifted our schedule. We do believe that we will actually see temperatures get into the low 70s tomorrow afternoon. So I think that it's going to be a pretty pleasant afternoon for folks getting off work with that extra hour of day sunlight after the shift is over. I think you'll enjoy maybe going for a nice bike ride or a nice run. Things are looking pretty good for that. Wednesday's even warmer. We start off in the mid-40s and we gradually climb into the lower 70s. Clouds will build as we head into Thursday. But we're really watching for the weekend stuff. And my weekend starts on Friday because it's a payday and I'm trying to, get out into the streets after work. Sometimes. Scattered rain and some rumbles of thunder are going to be possible as we head into the afternoon. Best guidance has some of that pushing out by evening, but there could be some lingering showers. You see how that secondary band is setting up around the 10 o'clock hour. That's something we'll fine-tune as we get closer. We always talk about low-resolution data. When we're talking about 4 or 5 days away, that's going to be low-res data. So the timing will shift a little bit. The location of the heaviest bands will shift, but we'll get a lock on that as we approach your Friday. For now, this is just a heads-up first alert weather day because we do expect there to be some rain and thunderstorms that could be impactful to any of your outdoor plans. Or honestly, if it's raining and you have to go to work, it kind of impacts your indoor plans too, right? Saturday trends a little bit drier, but you can see there is a little bit of moisture around. That system's going to sink further south, and we actually believe it's going to stall out. And exactly where it stalls out is going to determine exactly who sees the rain. Right now, it looks like it stalls out south of our viewing area, around Macon, which means that places like Upson County, Fayette County, along and south of I-20, you're going to have that best chance of seeing showers on Saturday. That picture is going to get a little bit clearer, too, the closer we get to it. There's not a first alert weather day for Saturday, but we do have one for Sunday because we do expect a cold front to approach the area, scattered rain and thunderstorms out ahead of that. Temperatures in the 70s, so some of those thunderstorms could be a bit aggressive. That's something we're, once again, keeping an eye on. But we do expect it to be quite wet for folks that are going to church on Sunday morning. Looks like some of that's going to stick around into the afternoon as well, eventually trending clearer as we head into the evening. We'll drop the first alert weather day by Monday, but because this is a cold front, temperatures are going to trend a little bit cooler as we push into Monday. We'll take a look at that in just a second. I want to get into this pollen conversation because today we were in that moderate level, and for the most part, it's been tree pollen like maple, birch, juniper, but also there's just been mold. Molds, I feel like mold's kind of almost always up there, and mold's definitely been something that's been in the air. So that's reasons for you to just take your allergy medicines. I don't think that this is anything that, means you shouldn't go for a run unless, of course, you're a person who's asthmatic. I think maybe Thursday would be the day that you'd probably want to avoid that outdoor run because that's going to be the day where we actually expect the pollen levels to be highest. But moderate the next few days. If you've been reacting the last couple of days, expect Thursday to be a little bit more intense than the rest. If it's not phased you like it hasn't phased me, probably won't impact you much. But just throwing that out there for anybody who reacts to all the different tree pollens that are out there. So here's that 7-day forecast, and we really are setting ourselves up for a nice stretch of weather the next couple of days. Temperatures are going to be in the low 70s each afternoon. I think that we'll get into the upper 70s by Thursday. And because we're going to be dealing with southerly flow Thursday, I'm not going to be surprised if some locations get to 80 degrees because we're going to have enough sunshine, I think, earlier on in the day and that strong south wind. Warming temps, I think we'll see several 80s on that map Thursday afternoon. Unfortunately, here comes those showers and storms with that front. That system on Friday, thunderstorms could produce some heavy downpours. And, y'all, it's been a wet March. If you were with us at 5 o'clock, Meteorologist Patrick Pete was breaking down some stats about, we picked up, I believe it's 6.59 inches of rain. I know it's at least 6.5. It's either 6.56 or 6.59. Forgive me on my math. But this is technically the second wettest start to the month of March as far as the first 10 days on record. And I was taking a look back just at regular Marches, and the records go back to the 1800s. And I believe we are right now just where we are with the first 10 days compared to every other complete total month of March. We are 42nd wettest March, and that's not counting the rain that we have coming later on this week or the other 21 days that are in the month. So we'll continue to monitor that. No worries of drought around here because we're good. The ground's saturated, but it's going to get a little wet as we head into Friday, and honestly, I feel like I can't catch a break on a Friday night. These Friday nights the last few weeks have been first alert weather days because there's been rain and stuff. But I do think that as we head into next week, we'll start off a little bit drier, a little bit below average in the low 60s, but I'd take low 60s and dry versus mid 70s and wet. I see a lot of people several people are on our YouTube stream. Good evening to everybody that's joining us at home. I hadn't spoke to you yet. And good evening to everybody on the stream. I always say that I want to keep you for a good time, not a long time. If you have any questions, you want to talk about the pollen, because I know that's a topic of conversation and that's been going around the newsroom all day. Here's your opportunity to rant. I don't control the pollen, but I can tell you about it. It will dip down a little bit Friday, but it's still going to be pretty close to moderate. So I don't think we're going to get a whole lot of relief, and this is just the beginning. So I think that you could count on this continuing to be more impactful as we head through spring. That's something that we are all used to. Life's life, and life is lifing us. So I'm going to leave you guys with the 7-day forecast since there's no questions. Oops. I pressed too many buttons. Technology. And we're working hard. Once again, this weekend system is evolving. We're looking at every set of data update that comes in, every model run that comes in. We're tweaking our forecast based off what we see the trends are, and we will have that update on those trends tonight. You know how we do it here. Me and meteorologist Fred Campagna, we tag team the 10 o'clock show on Peachtree TV, and then he sticks around and gives you guys that final look at what we're thinking at 11 o'clock on the Atlanta News First. So y'all have a fantastic Monday. It's Tuesday tomorrow, Taco Tuesday. If you want to be a really nice coworker, maybe make some tacos and bring them in for your coworkers. If you work with me here in Atlanta News First, I love shrimp tacos, fish tacos, chicken tacos, steak tacos, all that good stuff. And be safe, y'all. Have a good night.